Welcome in, everyone. We have something very important to talk about today. No, believe it or not, it is not about Benghazi, but it is about an American hero, and that is John Chapman, and controversy that has exploded over the National Medal of Honor Museum down in Texas that is opening here in March, and claims about how he's going to be treated within it. But before we get started, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment with your thoughts. We're here to share the stories of American heroes. John Chapman was absolutely an American hero, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So, the backstory. John Chapman was a 24th STS, that's Special Tactics Squadron, I believe. It is the Air Force Tier 1 element. They embed with Delta Force. They embed with SEAL Team 6. They essentially get put on alert with those teams. They get to do all this really cool stuff. They bring in air power, combat controllers. It's an incredible job. Well, during a march operation in 2002, what is known as the Battle of Takur Ghar during Operation Anaconda, Chapman is killed, and the situation Chapman was killed under turned into a, for lack of a better term, an absolute crisis. Political crisis, PR crisis. There were allegations that the Navy tried to stop him from getting his Medal of Honor. Then when he did get his Medal of Honor, Britt Slabisky got put up for a Medal of Honor. He was, of course, a SEAL Team 6 operator on the ground. The SEALs, whether you want to believe it or not, it's on video. Dan Schilling had posted the video on his YouTube. I can't play it here because YouTube, I think, does restrict it due to, obviously, it's a very violent graphic content video. And he, during this firefight on this mountaintop, they're going back up there after Neil Roberts falls out of the back of a helicopter. He's KIA'd. They go back up there. They get split. The SEALs retreat, leave Chapman up on the mountain where he fights through the night, which is, of course, the focus of Dan's great book, Alone at Dawn. He fights through the night and is ultimately killed and succumbs to his wound. This turned into a huge argument between the Air Force and the Air Force and the Navy. Because in order for John's medal to go through, his Medal of Honor citation to go through, the Navy was more or less going to have to admit what the video showed, the drone video showed. And that was that Chapman was abandoned and then fought by himself up on Takur Ghar. How did they find out? Well, there was a drone video that came out that at first was kind of hard to tell who's who. They were able to pin a signal to Chapman's rifle using new technology. I learned this in one of my interviews with a 24th STS guy. And then they could follow that rifle around the battlefield, and they knew that that was Chapman's rifle. So that's how they did it. And he gets the Medal of Honor. Then Britt Slabisky, who was one of the guys, the SEAL team guys who fled down the mountain, he gets put up for the Medal of Honor. And there's a lot to get into here because Britt Slabisky is going to, at least on the fringes, be involved with this scandal with the National Medal of Honor Museum. So the National Medal of Honor Museum is opening up, I got it right here in front of me, in Arlington, Texas, on March 25th, 2025. The ground broke on it in 22, and Britt Slabisky is on the board, or let's see if they call it a board. Yeah, board of directors. He is on the board of directors at the National Medal of Honor Museum. That is going to create, let's just say, speculation from a family member that, and I'm going to put this post up there, part of it on the screen so you can see it. They were told, what they're alleging, what John Chapman's family is alleging, is that they were told he was going to be a pivotal part of the museum. There'd be an exhibit. There'd be all this stuff focusing on him. Instead, they come to find out that that's not really true at all. He is allegedly only going to be a tiny piece of the museum, and I'm going to read you the post. This is from Lori Chapman Longfritz. To all who plan on going to preview the Medal of Honor Museum in March, I need to share some information so you can have a better understanding of what to expect before you spend money on plane tickets and hotels. Completely against what I was told, the museum has confirmed a couple of things, only because I asked pointed questions. John will not be featured in an exhibit. The only two places he has mentioned shown will be a photo at the entrance, which may or may not be included in one of those rotating photo books. If that is the case, then only those entering at the time his photo is shown will see it, or you'll have to wait for it to rotate through again. The other is the video of his actions. A grossly edited version would not surprise me. It will appear on the Medal of Honor timeline wall. That is it. I toured the museum with a friend in the summer. They pulled out all the stops, even showing us the approximate location of where John's exhibit would be. Then brought us into a conference room where they showed us a mock-up of their ideas for it. They were working on the wording and wanted input. They asked us if we could help with acquiring artifacts to include. I thank God I did not go alone, because they're now insinuating they did not tell us he'd have an exhibit. So she's saying there, hey, we had a witness who was there for the conversation when they said he's going to get an exhibit. Now she's claiming they're saying he's not going to get it, and the witness being there is key. So that was point one. Guess who will be featured? Yes, that's right. The tiny man who left John behind, lied about his actions, and joined the concerted and deliberate effort to kill John's medal. Is it a coincidence that he is on the board? Yeah, no. I noticed there's a fiction writer also on the board and wonder if he has been brought on to craft, not write, this poser's exhibit. This is, she's referring to Britt Slabisky. That's who she's referring to. I mean, there's nobody else on the mission who's also on the board of directors, who's also going to be featured in the exhibit, allegedly, who's also involved in the situation other than Britt Slabisky. Now, does that mean Britt had anything to do with this? I don't know. This continues. When I asked it, well, there's a part here that she gets into predictions, but what's very interesting is she goes into the book Alone at Dawn. When I asked two people at different times they will offer Alone at Dawn in their gift shop, I received the same stock answer. There are countless books about Medal of Honor recipients, and we have limited space. We are still trying to determine which ones will be offered. Those that aren't will be referenced on our website. Anyone wish to wager? There you have it. You decide if you want to go or not. Mom and I are still going. They can look me in the face. They can see the pain on Mom's, not that they'll care. Here's the kicker. That's her words, not mine. They were not even going to tell us John wouldn't be featured. They were going to let family, friends, and comrades show up, all excited to see it, and be blindsided when we discovered the truth of what they did. How sad is that? How disgusting and how evil. Why does everyone kowtow to their demands? Why is it so hard for anyone to see and speak their evil? I know the answer, but I'm putting it out there so some might contemplate the question honestly. People are Navy SEAL and they swoon. I want to barf. This is a new low. But the harder they try to deny the truth, the brighter the light will shine on. To be absolutely clear, I'm not saying John is more important than any other Medal of Honor recipient, except one who wasn't a recipient and was gifted to him. I hope to see Audie Murphy and Pitts and Levitow, among others. I cannot remember the name of the pilot who saved two CCTs in Vietnam or Laos with some pretty incredible flying. What I am asking is, wouldn't the first airman to earn the medal since Vietnam be something to showcase? Wouldn't the first recipient to have video proof make it special? That is historic in and of itself. Oh my gosh. I could go on and on. The point is John is current and his first should have garnered another one. Placement in the rotation. I'm heartbroken, but not broken. And then she says, if and when you go to the museum, I request that you and every employee you encounter, you ask every employee you encounter where John's exhibit is. When you're told there isn't one, demand to know why. Of course, you'll get a canned version. We can only feature 200 at a time. Through the next few decades, we will be rotating exhibits and expanding the stories. The timeline of how often and who will be featured is yet to be determined. Surprised. Note, my car runs fine. No problems with the house. I would never even think about, I got to phrase this, removing myself from the planet. So sounds like overkill. It's not. So there you go. You have it right from John's family. She's alleging that they were hosed over. They were promised an exhibit for John Chapman. I want to make clear, John Chapman is an American hero. John Chapman stayed up on that mountaintop, a 24th STS CCT, stayed up on that mountaintop, fought like an absolute hero, the hero that he was, and the SEALs ran away. And that is a fact. You might be angry about that fact, but it is a fact nonetheless. And that's just the truth of the matter. And he saved the guys who came to rescue him. Dan Schilling book, Alone at Dawn. Read the book. Watch the movie. And if anyone in the SEAL community had anything to do with how Chapman is allegedly going to be treated at the Medal of Honor exhibit, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. I'm not saying they did. I don't know. I'm just reading what she wrote. But if anyone put their thumb on the scale to change the outcome, it's a shameful thing to do. They should be beyond embarrassed. It's disgraceful. There's no excuse for it. And if that's the case, they dishonor John one last time. Maybe the worst one. Because now people won't get to learn his story in the Medal of Honor Museum at the level his family allegedly was promised they would be. If I was the Medal of Honor Museum, I'd come out with a statement. I would explain exactly the thought process. But the problem is she's saying she has witnesses when they were told one thing and are now told another. I hope the truth comes out. This channel is about the truth. It's about interviewing heroes, and it's about the truth. And right now, I'm fired up. I'm getting more fired up the more I talk about it. So we deserve answers. Chapman's family deserves answers. He deserves an exhibit. I hope they give him one, and this has been a big misunderstanding, and that when it opens on March 25th, there is an exhibit for him. If there's not, it'll be shameful, and his family has every right to be outraged. If you made it this far, it means you liked what you saw. It means you're interested in the content. Please like, subscribe, and comment below what you think about the SEALs leaving Chapman on the mountain and what you think about him allegedly not getting his own exhibit in the Medal of Honor Museum. I'll catch you all next time.